We enter this life unsure, unformed, and undeniably fragile. Born into the vast unknown, our first instinct is not to understand, but to grasp, to clutch for comfort, certainty, and control. This pursuit does not vanish with age, it matures. We chase security through status, purpose through possessions, meaning through external validation. Yet somehow, even when our hands are full, our hearts remain empty. We live in a culture that fuels this pursuit. It tells us that happiness lies just ahead, in the next achievement, the next promotion, the next purchase. So we hurry, we hoard, we hope, and in doing so, we quietly hand over our peace to circumstances we can never command. We confuse ownership with control and ambition with wisdom. But perhaps we've been asking the wrong questions. Perhaps the goal is not to bend the world to our will, but to train the will to meet the world as it is. This is the cornerstone of Stoicism. Born in ancient Greece and refined by the Romans, Stoicism is not a relic of the past. It is a discipline for the present. It does not promise escape from pain or deliverance from difficulty. It offers something subtler and far more enduring: perspective. The Stoic does not seek to change the weather, but to adjust his sail. He does not beg life to be easier. He demands himself to be stronger. Life in the Stoic's eyes is neither cruel nor kind. It is simply indifferent, and this indifference, paradoxically, is where its wisdom lives. We are taught to define ourselves by our titles, our trophies, our timelines. But the Stoics ask, what remains when these are stripped away? Who are you without applause, without wealth, without ease? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled the known world, once wrote, "Almost nothing material is needed for a happy life, for he who has understood existence." If a man who had everything chose to need nothing, what excuse do the rest of us have? In his writings, Seneca urged his readers to occasionally go without comfort, to wear simple clothes, eat plain food, sleep on the ground, not for the sake of suffering, but to remind oneself, I can endure. I do not need what I think I need. And if I can live without it, I can also live with it, without fear. Fear, after all, is often the root of our anxiety. Fear that we will lose what we have. Fear that we will never gain what we want. Fear that we are falling behind in a race no one else is actually running. Stoicism tells us, you are not late, you are not lacking. You are simply untrained in seeing what truly matters. There are two domains in life: the internal, which is ours to command, and the external, which is forever outside our grasp. The wise do not waste energy railing against what they cannot control. They turn inward. They sharpen the only weapon that always remains: their character. Every hardship is an invitation, every obstacle a teacher, every moment a canvas upon which we paint our response. We do not choose the events of life, but we choose what those events mean. And in that choice, we are free. The Stoics were not emotionless statues. They felt deeply, loved deeply, and lived fully, but they did not let their emotions drive the carriage. They held the reins. In a world that tempts us with endless distractions and hollow affirmations, Stoicism returns us to what is simple and eternal. To live with purpose, to act with virtue, to speak with honesty, to meet life's chaos with composure, and its silence with self-respect. You may not control what happens, but you control who you are when it does. And that is enough. That is always enough. Let the world spin, let the seasons change, let fortune rise or fall. You, noble listener, need not be moved by any of it. Stand where you are. Breathe. And remember, the calmest place in the storm is always within.